Good morning. Happy Saturday. What is it? May 25th. Um, just want to do another discussion about the state of the investing market. Um, there's a lot of people have been talking about the whole investing side, and prices could crash because they could print whenever they want. I mean, if you go look back, they've always reprinted stuff and brings prices down. Sword and Shield has been always the talk of the town. That's everybody's darling right now. We can go back to like Team Up. These Team Up in the last year, these have doubled in price. Just like the booster box, these went from about $26 to, I think they're currently sitting about $55. But Team Up booster boxes have gone up to I think it's $2,325 or so, something like that. So, price per pack in there, you divide that by 36, it's somewhere around $62 a pack, and these are sitting around 54, 55. So there's a little room for like these to grow. There's always that premium, in a booster box, but there's also a premium for, loose packs always seem to be the lowest on the tier of stuff like that. But with Team Up, even loose packs are selling for 50, $55 or something like that. So, and right now is probably a good time if you go ahead and look to buy singles from Sun and Moon. Just about every single one, the graph is going down. Like you can go back to I think, what is it, Cosmic Eclipse, or I think it's Cosmic Eclipse that has the Lugia, Palkia, Dialga, that beautiful alt art. I think that's down to like 160 something dollars right now, which that was well over $200. So it's a good time to start looking at some of that stuff. There's Team Up. Ultra Prism's actually doing pretty good, the booster boxes. So I believe the booster boxes in Sun and Moon, just about all of them are still on that little uptick, but all the singles are down. Sword and Shield, on the other hand, is a little bit opposite, where the singles all like skyrocketed, shot to the moon, all the alt arts and stuff like that. And I'm seeing the booster boxes, the ones that had their big gains, a month or two ago, they're kind of sitting flat the last 3 weeks or so. Lost Origin is still doing those little 50-cent, $1 gains here and there, but like Chilling Reigns really just sat. It's been sitting for quite a bit now at that $215 mark. And so the Sword and Shield booster boxes were the ones that started moving first. Back in January, you could buy. We're gonna do like the alt art sets. So from Battle Styles to Silver Tempest, those 8 boxes there. The cost to buy all those was let's see here, was about $1,430. But the cost to buy all the big hits from those sets, the Sleepy Tyranitar all the way up to the Lugia for Silver Tempest, was $1,583. So we're looking at about $150 difference to buy all the singles from the booster boxes. That difference has jumped now to the booster boxes will cost you $1,583 to buy them all, and then $2,036 to buy them all. Sorry. $2,036. So a little over $2,000. You can buy all 8 of those booster boxes from Battle Styles to Silver Tempest, but it's going to cost you almost $3,000, $2,900, $2,956 actually, to buy all the singles now. So the booster boxes, those booster boxes have gone up 42.3%, but the singles, the top hit from every one of those sets, those singles have gone up 86.68%. So it's doubled the gains of the booster boxes. But if you look over history, usually, like, you go look at Ultra Prism, go look at Team Up, the booster box costs more than the biggest hit from those sets. You go back to XY, it's an even bigger discrepancy, you know what I mean? So I don't know if Sun and Moon, is comparable to Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield, I think it's probably one of the best eras. It's probably an era where more people got into, back into Pokemon than probably any other era. I think it's like its whole other animal. Like when we look back 5 years from now, there's gonna be so many people with so many cool or crazy different memories of like the COVID stuff and Logan Paul and just all this Evolving Skies, how crazy all this stuff is going. I think, you know, it's gonna be something kind of different. I have a feeling that, you know, the gains from Sword and Shield are not gonna look like anything from Sun and Moon. It's not gonna look like anything from XY. It's just, I don't know, something about Sword and Shield is just so different. And I think when we get to that Scarlet and Violet era, it's almost like Scarlet and Violet era, the template for that era was perfected by the Sword and Shield. I mean, the beginning block of Sword and Shield, you have where the only thing that's actually moving is the Sword and Shield base, and then, you know, this card right here, this Rainbow Snorlax has become the best, the top hit past the Marnie, and this has rised 80% over, you know, the last 2 months or so. 80% rise just in this card. But the booster box has only gone up like, if I'm not mistaken, that was about 6.8%. You know, it's still very like $280, still very high for what it is. But it's a base set. Those ones always usually do good over time, and so, but like the main hit is literally this card here, and it's $48. This is like a $48 card, so that's the main hit from that set. If this card was doing like what all the other ones were doing, you know, like we'll go back to, like, say the Charizard or something from Brilliant Stars. It's gone up 74%. You know, just like this one's gone up 80. That's pretty close gain, but this ain't even close to the $280 box. This Charizard is worth a little more than a Brilliant Stars box, which I think is currently sitting at about $191. This is sitting at $199, so it's just ahead of the box. These won't. The alt arts kind of hold a different weight than a hyper rare rainbow. So I think it's just crazy how the main hits from a lot of these sets, that Lugia from Silver Tempest is worth way more than the box. The Moonbreon from Evolving Skies is worth way more than the box. You go to Fusion Strike, and that Gengar is just under 400. Fusion Strike boxes are was it 245-ish? I've been sitting like that for probably about 3 weeks. I mean, 3 weeks, there's not much movement in some of these boxes. Battle Styles just recently sold out, so it's still climbing. It's at 133, and it hasn't hit like a plateau yet. But Astral Radiance sold out, climbed up to about 169 to 175 now, and has kind of plateaued. It's kind of sitting there, but the cards have not. The cards have not. The Machamp, you know, it's jumped up to from $84 at the beginning of the year to like 178, and it's still like on an uptick. It hasn't hit a little plateau yet. The Moonbreon has kind of hit a plateau, so where it's not getting those $10-20 gains in a day. It's going up like $1 here, $1 there, but it hasn't. There's no downtick on that really at all. You know, so the difference, that discrepancy, that 40% gain difference between the boxes and the top hits is, I mean, does that kind of signify that, you know, the boxes are undervalued or the cards are overvalued? I kind of think it's a little bit of both. I think for the boxes to plateau a little bit, like Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, Lost Origin is still on a slight uptick, but that, you know, didn't sell out that long ago. But, you know, Astral Radiance, you know, kind of chilling there, chilling rain, just like basically chilling. Are we gonna see those start having some more gains now that like the Blaziken is, you know, that Blaziken has gone up like all the way up from 164 to 368, you know, from January to now? That's ridiculous gains. I mean, are we gonna see the boxes start to try to catch up to the big hits, the cards, or are we gonna see the cards drop? Or do you think something in the middle where, you know, because do we get like a 20% gain on the boxes and maybe a 20% drop in the cards? That's kind of where I'm thinking it's gonna go. I think all of those big hits are probably gonna, their gains were too big, too like unnatural. I mean, you know, so I think we might see 15 to 20% drop in a lot of these cards. You know, and I think we're gonna see maybe a 20% gain in some of these boxes that have been sitting stagnant for a while. You know, I think the Chilling Rain box in the next few months, I think it'll hit 250. I think the Fusion Strike might hit 275. Lost Origin, I think, is going to go up there. Maybe up there with Fusion Strike, hit 270. If it surpasses Fusion Strike, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it's not going to. I think it's going to stay behind. So like the Evolving Skies, I don't have any Evolving Skies booster boxes. I'm debating, since it's been sitting at 680, of maybe grabbing a couple. I don't have the money to grab a case, but I could probably go grab me a couple boxes. I have like packs, tons of packs. I sell the packs. You know, the packs have gone up from about $8 to like $11. I love the Rayquaza and the Umbreon pack arts on those. I've got some of these packs, and like I said, the Evolving Skies packs are about, if you go by the booster box divided by 36, the pack per price in the booster box is about 19, almost 20 bucks, and these are at 11. The sleeve boosters are at like 14.50. So I feel like the Evolving Skies booster box, if it does go up 20%, it's not going to be right now. I think it's going to sit for a little bit at the 690 or 688, whatever it is. That's my thought. But I mean, Sword and Shield has been bucking trends this whole year. Actually, it seems like it started end of February, beginning of March. Everything just started exploding, and just, oh man, it's been a fun ride. It's been really fun trying to predict what's going on. Looking every day at the price gains that are just unreal. I mean, you don't get these kind of gains in the stock market. You don't get these kind of gains. Well, the housing market, we've been seeing a little bit here in California. Houses going up $50,000 a month in my neighborhood. My house went, up 55,000 from April to May. I haven't got the report from was it April to May? April to May, I guess, yeah. Or was that March to April? I think it was March to April, went up 55,000. I haven't got the next report yet on that one for the next month, so we'll see what that is. If it's plateaued off or whatever. But like I said, it's not doing the same. The housing market, the stock market, it's not doing the same as some of the Pokemon market, some of the other hobby stuff too. I mean, the sports stuff, you're pulling cards out of there. I mean, they already automatically could be a $5,000 card just right out of the pack. I don't know, what kind of gains some of those cards are having. It's a little different. Pokemon is more like a sit and let it age kind of thing. So this is, trainer gallery cards too, or they've been kind of like getting overlooked for a minute, but not anymore. I mean, got the this is that Pikachu from I believe that's Lost Origin. This card's gone up. It's sitting currently just under 30 bucks, and it was like a $12 card or something like that. I remember when my son pulled this card out of a pack, we sent it to grading and got a PSA 9. But when my son pulled this out of a pack, we immediately started looking at prices, and I was like, what do you mean? This is like an $8 card. I mean, the beautiful, it looks like an alt art, it's textured and all that stuff, but it's a beautiful trainer gallery card. It was like an $8 card, and we're like, wow, that's crazy. But now it's sitting at about $28. So Crown Zenith is starting to climb a little bit right now. This Mewtwo's sitting at 75. It hasn't really done too much moving. This one we didn't bought that one. But this Gold Giratina here, this guy here, it's kind of like it's been sitting around like the $75 mark, and it shot up. I just did a video about possibly cracking this out, the slab, and seeing if I can't get a PSA 10, because this thing looks pretty immaculate. The guy who graded this must have had a bad day. I have no clue. I mean, I went over every single thing, and just on a different day, it probably could have get a 10. So I'm trying to see why this one, I've looked so close at some of these cards, and it is so hard to tell how or why it possibly got what it got. And the only thing I can think of is zooming in on the corners. The magnifying glass might show a little bit of white. I'm not sure, because some cards you can obviously see. When me and my son sent this card in, now actually, just from the first glance, yeah, you can't really see anything there. Wow. doesn't look like centering, so I don't know, not 100% sure. But and so I'm talking about like Sword and Shield a lot, but we've also seen some movements. Paldea Evolved is moving a little bit. The booster boxes are up to about 125. I was able to get boxes even just a month ago for like $99. I got another one off TikTok Shop, $77 plus tax. Came out to 88 after tax. This Magikarp's up 127% from its low of June. In June when it came out last year, so it's about a year. So it's up 127 over the year. In June when it came out, you know, of course it was high, $80 or whatever it was when it first came out, pre-sale. But when people started pulling them out of the packs, it dropped down to about a $44 card or something like that. Now it's up 127% at $100. It's this one's kind of leveled off too a little bit. It had those big gains, you know, and it hit 100. I think it hit 109 as the highest, but kind of leveled off at 100. I think that's what the market's saying, you know, right now. For now, that's what we're just gonna say that. But some of the you know, these cards are from Scarlet and Violet, starting to see stuff. This one's up 107% as well, and that's right around when the meta changed, I guess. You know, when the new rotation came in, and apparently this is playable. My son plays the game. I don't know too much about that. He'll tell me things about the meta, and you know, so or for the playing. He plays the TCG online, and he's got a couple decks that he's built. You know, I'm gonna take him out to go try those decks out at some of the leagues. You know, out in the San Jose and area where there's a lot of stuff. In my area, there's really no LCSs that do the league plays and stuff like that. So I had to drive out to San Jose, Fremont. I'm hearing this is up because of the meta. That's what I'm hearing, but. Like I said, it's a $46 card. It's starting to catch up to the Roaring Moon. To me, this is the best card in Paradox Rift. I believe it's going to be like the next Magikarp. It's going to be a $100 card when that Roaring Moon's like 70, like the Iono, you know. So we're starting to see some movement in some of the Scarlet and Violet, but I have a feeling though that Paldea Evolve's gonna it's so good for the game. And people need those cards. I think they're going to reprint that one soon. So that $125 box, I don't think it's going to go back down to 100. But when they reprint it, I think it's going to do kind of similar to what Silver Tempest did. Because Silver Tempest, the boxes got up to, I don't remember what it was, closer to 150. And then when they did a reprint, the box went down to about 115. So I think we could see Paldea Evolved getting, I could see it hitting, you know, 145, maybe, possibly. And then if they do a reprint soon, it's been about a year since it's been out almost, so I could see a reprint June, July or something like that, and it might bring the box prices back down 115 or 120 or something like that. But Paldea Evolved's such a strong set. It's got a lot of nice cards. The Raichu in there is hitting $40. I think the Chien-Pao is getting close to 30. I'm looking to try to buy some of these cards in PSA 10s. Just because the prices are still, like, you can get some of these PSA 10s under $100, maybe $80, $90. So that's probably something to start thinking about. Same with Crown Zenith. Love Crown Zenith. I think some of those cards you could still get. You know, we're not the top gold cards and that, but we're talking about like the cards below, like the Suicunes and the Raikou and all that stuff. I do have the Hisuian Zoroark. I got that for my son in a PSA 10. That one's gone up in price in the PSA 10, but the raw one is still sitting around 14. I've seen the PSA 10 sales on eBay hitting like 60 when it was about 40 just a month and a half ago. Because Crown Zenith is getting hot right now, and I think everything in Crown Zenith and all the way, you know, down to the lower cards are starting to heat up, and the PSA 10s are actually boiling pretty good right now on that set. So I would look into that kind of stuff if you guys don't have a lot of Crown Zenith. It's starting to actually be kind of enticing to open packs too, because Crown Zenith is it could be had at retail or even sometimes lower in a lot of places. So I told my son maybe we could probably buy a case of ETBs, probably get a good price on those. Hopefully get the packs for under $4 a pack, and just open a bunch of packs, see if we can't hit some of the cards that he's missing out of there. You know, so that's Crown Zenith. Silver Tempest is still Silver Tempest and Lost Origin booster box, ETBs, are super cheap still, like in the $30 range, because they don't have a cool promo or anything. Like if you want to open up Lost Origin packs, Silver Tempest, Crown Zenith, get the ETBs. Try to buy cases of those, because that's probably the best way to get packs. The cheapest way to get packs, because the booster boxes are already over the market value per pack. The booster boxes are on Lost Origin for sure, and Silver Tempest is getting up there too. But like I said, some of these you might be able to get Astral Radiance ETBs for cheap to open up cheap packs. That's what's it's a good thing about the ETBs from that block. They don't have a promo card, so they kind of don't hold as much value. It's basically packs, sleeves, and the dice and stuff like that. If you're not a player, it doesn't mean anything to you. So that's a good way to open those. Of course, Evolving Skies, those V-Striker tins that keep restocking at Walmart, the best way to get Evolving Skies packs. So I'm stockpiling those through those. And literally those pay for that, and it's like you're opening the Brilliant Stars packs for free that are in there. My son opened up all the Brilliant Stars packs. We didn't open the Evolving Skies. So it's starting to get hard opening packs for the end of Sword and Shield. Pokemon Go, you can probably still get some pretty good deals, and the big hit from there is going up in price. I call it, I say it's the big hit. The Rainbow Mewtwo is the big hit, but this card's going to surpass that. The Rainbow cards, the gold cards, they don't hold as much value. They seem to like hit a nice amount and kind of sit there for a little bit, but I can see this card getting back up into the $40-50 range. It's at 29 bucks right now. And it was 16. It just sat at 16 for like the last year or so. So for it to start climbing with all the rest of the alt arts, and it isn't a booster box set, is good to see. So Pokemon Go, it's fun to open a little bit of that set, because the set is so small. If you hit some of these big cards, the gold Dragonite, the gold Mewtwo, that alt art Mewtwo there, the Conkeldurr, that really hasn't gone up in price. It's not that popular. It's a cool card. I think it's way undervalued, but there's not a lot of a market for it, so I guess it's not undervalued. I don't know. What do you guys like? What do you guys think is going on right now in the market? Like I said, is it a good time probably to buy some of these booster boxes with Fusion Strike just sitting there chilling rain? I think it is. I think it's a good time to get those. I'm still I still have my money switched over to buying Paldea of all boxes. I'm thinking really hard on buying a case of Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, because I do think it is a better base set than Sword and Shield base. It's a better base set than Sun and Moon base. It's a better base set than XY base. People aren't buying it. People aren't talking about it, but just look at the cards. Look at the hits. That Gardevoir is gonna be the big hit from that set, and it's less than the Miriam right now. The Miriam's a cool looking card, but the waifu cards aren't gonna be holding value as much as they did during COVID. They're not gonna be holding their value as much as they did with the residual after COVID. The waifu craze, that's a Japanese thing that came over here in a manner of sorts with the booster boxes. As you can see, Japanese booster boxes aren't doing well out here. You're getting Japanese booster boxes for 40 bucks. You can get Shiny Treasure GX for like 30 something bucks. Fun to open. That's my son's favorite boxes to open in the last year was that. He liked opening that more than Brilliant Stars. He liked opening that more than Silver Tempest. He's opened up a few boxes of Lost Origin. He said Shiny Treasure EX was the favorite box to open, because every pack has hits. There was so much stuff. The baby shiny cards. He hit the big Charizard out of that. And so that was like his favorite. We've opened some V-Star Universe. He liked Shiny Treasures better than V-Star Universe. So it's like, and to be able to get those booster boxes for $30 is unreal. But it's speaking to, what's going on is we're able to get English stuff so much easier. It's readily available. My stores here, like you go to Target, you go to Walmart. I got a few around me. It's still like we're in COVID. Like literally, when the vendor comes and puts stuff, there's like hawks standing around. I'm not even joking. It's like grown people, kids, everything. They're just standing around waiting for stuff to get set. And the guy literally, he blocks off his area with his cart full of boxes, and he says, "Give me like a couple minutes, and then when I move, you guys can come in." He don't want them just picking through while he's good loading them up. So it still feels like we're in COVID, where people were saying that they would go in, the shelves would be empty, everything would be double the price. Even just packs were selling for $10 instead of $5. What is that? Shining Fates ETBs were $120. I mean, it's ridiculous what was going on during COVID. And in my area, you still see that at like the Targets and the Walmarts. Walmart, just the other day, I'm literally down the street from my office is a Walmart. I went in there in the morning to go get my coffee creamer. I needed a couple things for the house, and then I go to the back of the Pokemon Center. The Pokemon section. Sorry, Pokemon. And they have they restocked those little Paldean Fates tins, and those tins, they're supposed to be $14.98. Everybody else on YouTube buying them. Here in California, $23.12. I mean, literally, you're not getting a deal at all. So it was like, I went back later that day just to go see what was going on and grab a few things, since my girlfriend was coming to stay over for the weekend, restock my little mini fridge in my room. And I went back, and every one of those tins were gone at $23.10. Every one of those tins were gone. So it's like I said, it still feels a little bit like people are in that COVID mindset here in California. I don't know if they're trying to flip those to make $2 or $3 off each one, because I think they're selling for like $29 after fees. You might make $2. That ain't even lunch money. So it's insane. I go there to look for the V Strikers tins, and they didn't restock those this time. They had some of those mystery power boxes, some of the new set Twilight Masquerade single blister packs, that kind of stuff. I'm surprised those were still there. But it was the Paldean Fates tins, those Charizard, Great Tusk, and Iron Tread, the window tins, the smaller version, and that's just ridiculous. I wanted to buy one of those for my son to open, and at $23.10 I could just go buy loose packs and buy the promo and still save money. So it's ridiculous. But so getting back to the Sword and Shield stuff, yeah, man, the booster boxes, those 8 booster boxes have gone up 42.3%, and the 8 big hits have gone up 86%. So I think there's some room for one to grow, and there's I think time for the market to kind of correct a little bit. And I don't know if that's going to be just a plateau for a little while of the big hits, the Moonbreon all the way down to the Lugia, or we might see a little dip. There's no way right now. It's not a good time to buy. If you're buying just because you want to have those cards, that's fine. But if you're buying because you think you're gonna make money, you think the Moonbreon's gonna go up another 400 after it already went up 400, I would suggest not doing that. I wouldn't do that. I would wait, because I don't see the Moonbreon getting back down to, so it's low at the beginning of the year. It was $538. I don't see it getting down to 538. It's at 950 right now, and so I could see it getting back down to maybe like 825 on the low, if that. But I wouldn't buy right now. I don't see it climbing over $1,000 and staying at that. I there's got to be a market correction for some of these cards. The Lugia, let me see here. I got that Lugia sitting over here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. The Lugia. So it's up 61% from its from January 1st. That the card was sitting at 128. Now it's sitting at 207. My estimate for this was it was going to hit maybe 250, 260, and come back down to 225 and just kind of plateau right there. It looks like it's plateauing at about 210. We'll say we'll round it to the 210. So like we're seeing some of that stuff. Some of the Astral Radiance cards, they all gone up. All these are all from Astral Radiance. They've all gone up. They've all kind of hit a plateau, except for the Starmie. It kind of jumped up. That's a Trainer Gallery one. That one's up in the $60 range. That Garchomp with the Cynthia, I need to grab that one. That card went from like a $20 card to like a $50 card. Now it's sitting a little under 50. The gains just they've gone crazy on some of these cards, and then they come back down a little bit. And that's what we should expect. The Gengar went up over 400 from Fusion Strike, and now it's back under 400. So it's kind of doing its plateau. Maybe it's going to lose its 10, 15, maybe at the most 20. I don't see any of these cards losing more than 20%. But you know, when do you get in as an investor? When do you get in and when do you get out? Is one of those things. A collector, I would ignore that kind of stuff, because collectors, you're leaving that stuff sitting. That Umbreon is going to be a $2,000 card one day. It's not going to be this year. It's not going to be next year, but maybe it could be. So if you're just a collector and you just got it in your binder, it's a beautiful card sitting there and you love looking at them, yeah, don't worry about that kind of stuff. But if you're an investor, you're a quick flip guy, which cards are the best quick flip. Booster boxes are better long term. When do you get in? Right now is not a time to get on some cards. Some cards still have room to grow. Like, you know, I was showing you that Rainbow Snorlax. I believe this card still has room to grow, even though it's sitting at like $48 right now. From, you know, just 2 months ago it was sitting at 27. Now it's 48. So like I said, 80% gain. I could see it getting to the 120% gains like some of these other cards. So just like if you are investing in singles, definitely do your due diligence. Watch the market. Look every day. Look in the morning once. Look before you go to bed. Just, you know, you get that like ingrained in you. Same with your 401k. I used to look at it as much as I can. That was, you know, in those times, you know, 2009 is when I cashed out my 401k to buy a house. I didn't have an app that had all this stuff on there. I didn't have an iPhone. I was still using some track phone or something like that, you know. And so nowadays we have everything at our hand. So you can even pull up, if you got a new car, you can pull up and it'll tell you your air pressure while you're sitting at your desk, you know, from your car, all this kind of stuff, all these newer cars. Like everything's at our fingertips now. Everything is right there. So literally you have your 401k, you can download your apps for whatever company is, you know, you're representing your 401k. I don't know what the companies are these days, but they all got apps. Everybody has apps. You know, you got that Robinhood app for your investing. My coworker pulled his Robinhood app up to show me that he made like $8 or something like that. And I'm over here, my booster boxes, literally in the last 3 months, my Sword and Shield booster boxes have made me $1,400 in 3 months. I've gone up $1,400. I wish I had more boxes that would scale that up a little bit more, but you know, I just started doing the sealed investing just at the end of last year. So, you know, to get my boxes to have gained 1,400 is not bad. I wish I doubled that, you know, but I'm slowly adding to the sealed investing, but I'm also adding to my son's collection binders. I mean, all these cards, just adding and adding to the binders. This is one of the ones that was ridiculous. Paid $72 for this card back 3 months ago, February actually, and now it's sitting at like 190 something bucks. It's ridiculous. So the gains for the singles are like unheard of, kind of super, just to the moon. The boxes haven't done that. Like I said, the singles are more of a volatile. They can shoot up, they can drop. The boxes are a little bit more of a safe, you know, they when they shoot up fast, they kind of like correct themselves a little bit. They don't drop that 20%. Usually they'll go down 5%, 2%, 3%, just to correct for a little bit, and then they'll go back up. So I'm waiting for the booster boxes to start going up. Well, I think we're gonna start seeing some of those gains. We do have to take into consideration as well as tax season. A lot of those gains from the singles could be from that. People getting their taxes back and they go in and they buy stuff and it ends up raising the prices. We kind of do see this every year around tax season. So sometimes we forget about that, and tax season, where do where are we thinking we're seeing that? Because people get their tax form from their employers by January 31st. They start doing their taxes. Some people do them earlier. You can absolutely do your taxes earlier, without that. But I'm guessing March, April, and May. This is that 3 month window right there is going to be the tax buying season. That's also with the shoes. Usually during that time, when the shoe market's good, all the Jordans, the Yeezys, well, back when it was, during COVID, it kind of got a little bit crazy too. You couldn't even buy a pair of Jordans, retro Jordans, off the shelves at the stores. They were always gone before that. And every single pair, just your most basic pair of Jordans or SB Dunks or Yeezys, would just make you $50. Now they're all sitting on shelves right now. I mean, it's basically the big collabs and stuff that are actually making people a little bit of money right away. Jordan 4s were doubling in price, and it's now they're kind of, some of them are just sitting like that. So like I love the shoe market. Right now's a buying time for that, but we'll get back to that on another video. I'm gonna just start posting some videos about the shoes if anybody's interested in that kind of stuff. I try to do videos for the sports hobby. It's a little bit harder to source some of the sports items. I have no idea why. Maybe because of the ceiling. You could buy a retail box at $30 and hit something that's worth $1,500. You don't do that with Pokemon. Like, you gotta wait over time. I mean, look at the Moonbreon, is a $900 card. I could pull a $900 Wemby out of a $30 box of Monopoly Prism. You can't do that like right away with Pokemon. You gotta wait. You gotta let that sit. PSA 10s add the values there. That's like I said, just a little bit of a rant here and going on with some numbers and stuff for you guys to think about. I do like to listen to the community. I do like to watch some of the other investors. I'd like to listen to some of the naysayers videos, and just all around like to see what's going on in the market, what people are feeling, and you can take that with a grain of salt. Some of that stuff, if you look at numbers speak to me. I do like to hear people's perspective, but it is the numbers for me. Numbers are the thing that does not lie. Numbers are the only thing that don't lie. The numbers are something you can follow. Not always predictable, but in the long term, yes, they are predictable. If you're speaking short term, numbers can be all over the place. Numbers can be volatile. But when it comes to people's thoughts, it's good to just kind of listen and take those into consideration as well. Some people have a lot of knowledge in this space, a lot more knowledge than me, and some people, they don't care about the knowledge in the space. They just have their thoughts, and it's always good to it's good to diversify your what you're watching, what you're looking at, what you're getting into. And with that, I always got to tell you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I didn't go to school for finance. I invest in what I invest in because I believe in that. Doesn't mean you have to. So, like I said, do your due diligence, look at your numbers, and don't get mad at me when, when I'm telling you don't invest because of me. Don't think of certain things because of what I say. Go do your research. All right, with that, I am out, and I noticed that I get a lot of views on some of my videos. I've had some videos that hit 10,000 views. I've got a lot of videos that hit 1,500 views. I have way less subscribers than that. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get into the comments. Let's start talking about some of this stuff, all right? So have a good rest of your weekend, and a happy Memorial Day for those here in America. We've got Memorial Day on Monday. And happy collecting, happy investing. I'm out.